So now we take a look at the rescission of the contract. What do you mean by rescission of the contract? Rescission means cancellation. It comes from the word resign. This is the verb form. Rescission is the noun form. Now, what do you mean by rescinding the contract? To resign. To resign means to cancel, to terminate, to avoid. Now, you might ask me, the contract has already been broken. What is the need to resign the contract now? What is the need to cancel the contract? Because it has already been cancelled by the other party. It has already been breached by the other party. Now, why does the agreed party need to resign the contract? It needs to resign the contract because the rescission of contract discharges the contract, removes all the liabilities from the hands of the aggrieved party, because aggrieved party was also liable to do something. He was also liable to perform the contract. Now it will relieve him from all the liabilities regarding the contract. And thus we can say that the promise has been discharged, the contract has been discharged. If you remember, we had done this thing when we were doing performance of contract. So we had done various ways wherein the contract gets discharged, and one of the ways was rescission of the contract. So when the aggrieved party resigns the contract gets discharged. That means all the liabilities, all the responsibilities, all the promises that the aggrieved party had made, he gets relieved of those. Now he no more needs to perform the contract. This happens only when he opts to resign the contract. Now, I'll give you two options. I come to you and say that I'll not be able to perform the contract. Now you have two options. First, either to sit at home and do nothing because you say the contract is breached, and at the same time you do not incur any loss under the contract, so you sit at home and do nothing. The second is you resign the contract. Now why would you resign the contract? Because of my breach you have incurred some loss, and you cannot put a claim of compensation on me unless you have rescinded the contract. Now what do you mean by rescinding the contract? By rescinding the contract, I mean you file a complaint to the court, you file a suit in the court saying you resigned the contract. And once the suit is filed in the court for rescission, that relieves you of all the liabilities, of all the promises that you had made in the contract, and at the same time it gives you the right to claim compensation. You get the right to claim compensation. Otherwise you do not get the right to claim compensation. If you do not resign the contract, you'll never get the right to claim compensation. So it is important from the viewpoint of claiming compensation that you resign the contract. That is, you file a suit of rescission in the court. Now normally what is done is the suit for rescission and the suit for cancellation is filed together to save the time. You file both the suits together. But let's say you do not want to claim compensation. So what you do is you choose the first option. Sit at home, do nothing. Why would you unnecessarily want to get into these legal hassles and legal procedures? Because you anyway do not want to claim any compensation. So, when the contract is cancelled, when the contract is breached, you have two options. First, sit at home, do nothing. Second, to file the suit for rescission. And once you file the suit for rescission, you get the right to claim compensation for the loss. That is our next right, claim damages.